With a former WCW star unfortunately passing away and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Speaking about her time in WWE, Michelle McCool recalled the Divas era and how she ended up leaving the company, saying on Busted Open Radio, "You hear about the women's evolution, and of course, you hear about the Attitude Era with Trish and Lita and Jazz and Ivory and Victoria, which all were amazing, obviously. Then our little Diva era kind of just gets skipped over. We had to fight and claw. I think even on my retirement match, I think we were given 12 minutes with entrances. So probably, 9 minutes of wrestling. We thought that was a rib, like we're getting this much time because normally we had 2 or 3. I grew up loving the business, and when you love something so much and then you start not enjoying it as much because of whether it's, obviously I married a top guy, right? So clearly I got everything because of who my husband is and not the hard work that I put in. That's the aspect of it. Then there's just all this chaos around all the time. We really were just fighting for our spot. We didn't know if we would be on TV the next week, so it was hard, but I wouldn't change it. I'm not afraid to fight. I'm not afraid to work for what I've got. In fact, we're just lecturing our daughter about that, but it was hard, and it was stressful, and it broke my heart to retire. I started not liking something that I love so much. It wasn't an overnight decision. It was like a 2-year process. I talked to Vince about it, and he's like, whatever you want to do, you've got my blessing. Whatever you want to do, you just let me know. I'm just like, I don't want to hate something that I absolutely love and adore, and that's what was happening slowly, day by day, week by week. So it wasn't an overnight decision. Still, it wasn't easy to step away. It was rough after that for a little while because you look back or you start watching and you're like, dang, I wish we had a little bit of that. I'm happy for the girls, obviously, but gosh, just a little bit would have been so nice. It makes now 8,000 times better. I've never felt more loved by the fans than when I came out on Sunday. We didn't get that. That was just super special, and I truly just appreciate that so much more because of how things worked when we were wrestling years ago. When asked about doing a reality TV show with his wife Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins told Pro Wrestling Illustrated, "No man, that's not for me. That's not for me. I like to do the scripted stuff or the improvisational stuff. I don't know about the reality. I feel like having a camera follow me around all the time would just drive me insane. I can't handle it." Rollins would also say this about being a parent. "Oh, it's been a different world altogether, man. Priorities shift. Everything changes. We've been traveling on the road with her. Having 2 working wrestling parents along with, Becky has been doing some outside stuff as well. It's been chaos. The one major thing is the time has just gone like that. I mean, in this industry, it flies anyway because we're nonstop, but having her around, I feel like it's just on another level, like we're in warp speed." With her losing money through PayPal, Impact Wrestling star Deonna Purrazzo would write, "PayPal has transferred me 5 times in the last 30 minutes while trying to get an update on the 3 claims Robert Enrick has filed against me. I've been robbed of thousands, PayPal. Why can't I get answers?" Giving a health update on superstar Billy Graham, a friend wrote on his GoFundMe page, "Friends, Wayne has had a very rough run lately. He coded, but God decided that it was not his time to go and brought him back to us. He is going on over 3 weeks in the Mayo Hospital ICU, checked into a rehab center, and is now back at the Mayo. He is dealing with a myriad of very serious health issues, a major infection in his ears and skull that may take 6 months of intravenous IVs, congestive heart failure, diabetes, hearing loss as a result of the infection, and the list goes on. He is facing a long period of rehab, and his insurance will only pay a portion of this. He is facing at least 2 months in a skilled nursing facility. Once he is stabilized and released from the Mayo Hospital, Wayne has lost 45 pounds in the last 3 weeks. Wayne's wife Valerie is doing the best she can to work full-time while also doing all she can for her husband. They are facing mounting long-term medical related bills. Any amount would be greatly appreciated. God bless you and thank you. Prayers would be much appreciated." A blind eye to check in on me. The court of Twitter can sometimes get dirtbags out of our industry, but the court isn't always right. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Adam Cole talked about being a babyface in AEW following his return and his goals. In this particular situation, if I would have come through with a different approach of cutting a heel promo or acting like a heel right from the return, we would have been fighting upstream. It was one of those things where, of course, the fans were going to be excited and be behind you, especially when they hear the story. In that sense, that process has been easier. In general, I've been a heel for 95% of my entire career. I've talked like a heel and wrestled like a heel for a really long time. To even step outside of that comfort zone and talk like I feel as a babyface would was very mentally intimidating for me. Fortunately, the process of the real journey and real story makes it easy because it's all real. It's all things that I actually feel. The entire recovery process was all real at this point, whether it's heel or babyface. I'm just worried about telling my story, and I'm glad the fans have my back on this one. I do think, and I've had this mentality literally since I started. To go back a little bit, I remember when I first started training, I had this goal of, okay, I want to get signed by WWE, and I want to be the world champion, and I want to main event WrestleMania. When you think about all that and how far away that goal is, it's so overwhelming, especially for someone like me and the way that my brain operates. So I remember very early on saying, I'm going to drive myself crazy if I obsess on certain goals, especially goals that I can't control per se. I'm going to take every day by day and just be the best version of myself in the ring or on the microphone that I possibly can be. I've kind of instituted that mentality throughout my entire career. At this current time right now, I'm just so excited to be back. I can't wait to get back in the ring, and I'm so thankful that I'm actually able to get back into the ring, especially with that scare of thinking it might not happen. Regarding the AEW World Championship, of course, I would love the chance to be the AEW World Champion. That's absolutely a goal in the back of my mind. Again, that's the stamp of approval from the company that you work for saying, all right, we're going to get behind this guy. We're going to give this guy the ball. So certainly being the AEW World Champion someday is a goal of mine. But currently, in this moment right now, I'm just thinking about being able to get back in the ring and wrestle and being back on the road. That's a big win for me. While Shawn Michaels denied being the one to fire Mandy Rose, the former NXT Women's Champion is standing behind that claim as she told The Sessions, completely surprised with everything. I went into work like a normal Tuesday for TVs, and I was told that the title match that was supposed to happen down the line at Vengeance Day was when it was supposed to maybe happen, but that was all up in the air. That's the only news I got as far as for the future, but it was said that we were gonna actually do the match tonight. That was around 2 o'clock when I was told. Right away, I had the inclination that something was up because everyone treated me so great in NXT. I had a great relationship with Shawn Michaels, the writers, the producers, everyone. I was never kept out of the loop either, being the champion for 413 days. I didn't really have many surprises like that, so it's very woo, did I do something? What's going on? Obviously, I had some inclination because of what was going on social media and what was going on the night before. It came from Shawn Michaels himself. So I knew it was coming from the head of creative, so I knew that was it. I didn't really have to go and seek other answers, even though I wanted other answers, but at that moment, I had to do my job and get planning our match and everything else we had to do that night. When asked about a potential run in AEW, Mandy Rose noted during that previously mentioned interview, "Oh, that would be nice to reunite with Saraya in AEW. Oh yeah, oh my god, I could reunite with Dustin Rhodes too. I have a few little old schools that we could reunite. I haven't ruled it out for sure coming back to wrestling. It's not like the boots are hung up and stuff. It's not like that, but right now, it's not my main focus, but just right now, it's not my main focus, but definitely for the future, maybe. We'll see." Revealing that plans had been altered for Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, Dave Meltzer explained on Wrestling Observer Radio, the key to this is that they are not creating a new championship on the Saturday night show. Yeah, they were talking about doing a second title on Saturday night. If it was Roman and The Rock, then they were going to create a championship on Saturday night that Cody would have probably ended up winning. But it was Cody, Drew, or Rollins that was going to come out of that one. They were creating a second one because they want to go back to 2 titles. It was was also noted that Cody Rhodes has been a huge draw for WWE. He's a draw. I mean, Sammy is a draw, but Cody is a draw. In the weekend, at house shows in Columbus, Georgia, and Pensacola, the advances were the same, 2,000 to 2,500, that they do everywhere else. In fact, it was lower than usual. They were normal advances. Cody wins the Rumble, and then they announced that Cody is working those two shows, and they did the all-time record gates in both Columbus, Georgia, and Pensacola, Florida. You know, about 6,000 people in both shows, a little under 6. But for house shows last year, you could probably count on one hand. You know, except for a Garden House show, some of the Canadian ones were big. There was a big one in Sacramento where Roman Reigns worked on 6,000 to 7,000. WWE house shows don't usually draw like that, so he's a mover, at least right now. In some unfortunate news, former WCW star Charlie Norris passed away. As Cauliflower Alley Club wrote, "We are once again hit with sad news with the passing of Charlie Norris at the age of 57. As always, we send our condolences to his family and friends during this most difficult time. Rest in peace, sir." Sadly, it seems WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler is having health troubles, as Dutch Mantel wrote on Twitter. Latest update on Lawler. Lawler experienced paralysis on his right side immediately following the stroke. Latest news is reported that he has regained partial use of his arm. His speech is still affected, but that takes a bit more time, but he's improving. Of course, we wish Lawler all the best during this time and hope he makes a recovery. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.